Hello everyone, today we are joined by Mercedes driver Daniel Juncadella. So I was going to get to know about you, about your career somewhat, and then also maybe a bit of advice for me about me driving a car. So first up, did you have an idol growing up as a driver? Did you look up to someone?
Yeah, I did. Beginning was Michael Schumacher when I was very young, at a young age, when I was starting, when wasn't even racing, but I was starting to watch races in TV. And then it became Fernando Alonso because he was the first Spanish driver to ever beat those guys and to ever win a race. So that was a big moment for me, and I started racing thanks to those wins from Fernando. And then obviously one of my biggest idols, which still is Rafael Nadal, which has nothing to do with racing, but he's, someone I look up to.
You admire the effort, the time he's put into dedicating his sport.
That guy for me is like my biggest idol, I would say. Yeah.
So how did you sort of then step into go-karts? Was that like a big transition? Did you have the support of your family?
Yeah, it took a bit long. Like usually you start at a young age, but I started when I was 13, so it was quite late. But my father used to race, and my uncle used to race also. He raced in F1, so I had a big background in my family from motorsport, and they were very supportive, but they were very clear that I had to keep studying, I had to keep doing my normal stuff, and I think it was great the way we handled it because I started really late, and where I reached, I think is quite good.
Yes. So next up was the transition from go-karts to actual Formula cars. Was that a big transition for you, or did you find it quite natural?
It wasn't. It was quite natural for me. I found it was a good step for me because I did only 2 years in karting, and I felt I was a bit on the back foot compared to all the guys that had a lot of experience. So for me, stepping into Formula cars was a great step because I was equal to the others, and I started from zero like everybody else at a similar age. So I felt straight away I was a lot more competitive in Formula cars.
Did you find it hard to make a name for yourself, especially in junior categories? There are so many people that want to be a racing driver full-time and professionally like yourself. Did you find that hard?
Well, I found I was always making the right moves. Nowadays it's getting even harder. There's more drivers, more kids getting into Formula cars, so I think it's getting tougher every year. When I was there, I was in a Red Bull junior team, so I got a lot of support there from Red Bull, and they put me in the right places always. And then as soon as I stepped out of Red Bull, I was a Mercedes junior, so I always had the benefit of being behind a big brand. So yeah, so that was great.
So far, do you have like a standout career moment that you think that's the moment that's been the best moment in a car so far?
Yes, 2011 when I won the Macau Grand Prix in Formula 3. That was, I would say, a point in my career where I realized, okay, this should be my thing, and kind of made me realize that I'm really good at this, and I wanted to keep trying to be professional at this, and I think that was a standout moment clearly in my career.
So for a lot of people that don't watch the junior Formula, Macau GP's, I guess, like the Monaco of like Formula One, for example, isn't it?
It is. It's like the biggest highlight in junior categories, and kind of lost a bit of interest the last few years because in the past it used to be a race that if you win would mean that you would go to Formula One, and nowadays it's so many other things involved, so it's kind of gone down a little bit, but at my time I think it was very special to win it.
So going on to me driving a car now, how important is getting out on track and just getting experience in a car before you actually race it? I mean, do you spend a lot of time testing before the start of the season, for example?
Yeah, we try. We are limited by the regulations, so we are not allowed to test a lot, but all the track time you get with other cars and stuff, especially if you're starting, the best way to do it is to get some training at the racetrack where you're going to race with a different car if you have the chance. That's the best way to practice the feeling, how the track is, how the layout is, and to get the right lines.
So you've raced in a couple of series where there are different classes. How do you find that experience of cars going maybe past you and other cars you've got to overtake? Is that hard to judge sometimes?
It is very hard, and I think it's also very special. I really like it, racing in those categories, because it makes you think more about other stuff than just not driving around. And you need to be aware of what's going on around him and what's going on around these little cars, because they are racing as well, and sometimes misjudge a lot of situations, and that's a big learning step, I think.
So we're in the early stages of this DTM season. Mercedes have been pretty strong. You've been pretty strong this year as well. Have you got any aims for the rest of the season? Maybe grab a few podiums, few wins?
Yeah, I mean, I want to win a race. That's pretty clear. I've been really fast in the first 3 events, but I didn't get a big result yet. I was a bit unlucky, but I think through the years this thing equals, and I'm sure I will get the chance this year at some point because we have a really strong car, and I'm feeling really good with the car. So yeah,
hopefully it will come. Yeah, hopefully soon. So you've driven quite a few different types of car in your career as well. Is there one that stands out? Is one that you really love driving?
Yeah, it was the Ferrari F1 2009 car. I got the test when I won the Formula 3 Euro Series in 2012, and that was my first Formula 1 test. So it was very special because it was the first one, and then because of being Ferrari, it's always special. And that car was mega quick, the old V8 car, and with special tires. That was very special car to drive.
Have you also done some free practice sessions in F1, haven't you? Was that with Force India? Was that correct?
I did with Force India, the first year of the new generation of cars, the V6, and that was not that easy, and the car didn't feel as strong because it was the first year with those turbo engines, so we were still learning a lot. So that was, I would say, the car was not as nice to drive as the Ferrari, but it was also very special.
So my last little question was, do you have any advice for young drivers coming through the ranks, maybe in karting?
Well, the first thing is, I would say, you need to enjoy what you're doing. You need to have fun. You need to. That's the clear thing, to have a clear mind that you're doing what you want to do, and you're not doing it because of you want to be famous or you want to be a race car driver because this guy is cool because he's a race car driver. You want to do it for yourself and enjoy the moment, enjoy the process, and that's the way to keep going forward.
That's it. Thank you for answering my questions.
Thank you.
And good luck for the rest of the season.
Yeah, you too.
Thank you.